Most people think legacy means writing a memoir, but that's not true. After 20 years portraying people's lives on film, I can tell you this. Legacy isn't told, it's shown. What you actually need is to start an interactive film archive that speaks to future generations, even if all you got is a shoebox full of photos. And that is now possible. And in this video series, I'm going to show you how to do this. So now you're probably thinking, how exactly will this work for me? As a filmmaker, I've been obsessed with AI storytelling and animation tools. So I came up with a system where all you need to start is an ordinary object, a watch, a photo, a coffee mug. And then I'm going to walk you through the 5 best AI storytelling tools you need to turn your personal memory into a mini cinematic legacy film. By the end of this video, you will know the exact steps, workflows, and prompts you can copy so you can start today. And here's why this matters. The way we remember is changing. For families, for founders, for foundations, for institutions. With AI, we're entering a new era where memories don't fade, they evolve. This is overwhelming, even scary, but it's also a massive opportunity if you know where to start. Let's dive in. AI tool number 1 for legacy content creation is ChatGPT. But not the way that you have been using it. If you haven't done what I'm about to show you, it's going to blow your mind. Because I'm not going to propose that you use ChatGPT as a chatbot or as a writing helper. No, you're going to use ChatGPT as a story excavator. Big difference. And don't worry, I'm not just going to list a bunch of features and leave you hanging. If you want the full overview of all prompts and workflows that I'm using in this video, then they're linked below. You can download them right away and start using them. If you use ChatGPT to answer a question and then bounce, you're really missing the magic, because sitting in front of you is a full-scale creative engine. It's not just an assistant. It's a portal into the stories that you've never told. Okay, quick example. Last month, I was working with a client to create a film about his business legacy. But he didn't just want to be remembered. It went deeper. He actually wanted to be understood. But he didn't know how. I said, look in your office, look around, and pick one object that's been with you for a while. And then just start talking into ChatGPT for 3 minutes. Together, we then built out several stories and created visuals that brought his memories back to life, all within one afternoon. Let me break this down so you can try it for yourself. Here's what to do. Open ChatGPT, tap the little headphone, start talking into it, and then when you're done, just tap stop. This is how easy it is. Now, look around your room, pick an object. For example, here, I have this mug. I'm going to talk about this picture. So it can be anything. Then ask yourself, what's the story behind this object? What was a decision I was wrestling with at this time, right? And here's how I would prompt ChatGPT. I want to share a story. Please first listen. And when I'm done, I'd like to explore the deeper meaning of it. So in my case, I would say I'm holding this mug in my hand. There's a picture of me with my pet parrot, Morgan. At the time, I was living in Miami and I was taking her everywhere, even on film shoots. But I knew I had to make a decision that was really heartbreaking. I had to give her away after 16 years. Boom, that's it. You go for 3 minutes, okay? So once you're done with this, I want you to follow up with the make meaning prompt. And I'm going to put the whole prompt in the show notes down below. Act as a world-class storytelling strategist. I want you to help me explore the deeper meaning of this object beyond what I said. Please analyze what I told you and respond with the external meaning, the internal meaning, and the philosophical or legacy insight. Please respond like a storytelling strategist who sees both the story I'm telling and the one I may not have fully named yet. Take that prompt, put it into ChatGPT, and see what comes out of it. And here's another pro tip. Don't just choose an AI. Choose the perspective that you want. That brings us to tool number 2, Claude. Whereas ChatGPT is really good for research, Claude really shines with creative writing. Here's what sets Claude apart. It excels at emotional insight. It holds deep and ethical conversations. It integrates with your life, Gmail, Google Docs, you name it. And it doesn't train its models on your data. That means it's great for privacy concerns. Copy everything you put into ChatGPT, also into Claude, and see what comes out of this. And then when you have ChatGPT and Claude, then just see those two scripts. Where is an idea that I hadn't even considered? ChatGPT is like a creative powerhouse, and Claude is like your intuitive, wise little friend. And together, they help you see, discover, and tell your story better. But neither one of these two AIs are actually really good in turning your memory, your story into visuals. That brings us to tool number 3, and that is Midjourney. Midjourney makes your memories come alive. Most people have a lot of memories in their head, but they have very few photos of it. Now comes Midjourney, and that's a complete game changer because now you can rebuild your memory visually. It's basically visual time travel, but let's see how good this really works. Okay, so here's what I want to achieve. I took a picture with me in the mug because I want to animate it and I want the camera driving towards the mug into this picture. And I want this picture start moving. Number 2, I want to be in this picture. I want to be in that scene and I want to release my pet parrot, Morgan. Let's see if this is possible and what it looks like. So you take your picture and then import it here. Here's add images, right? So this is the mug, but I also have the picture. I have both those images. I'm going to click on this image. I'm going to see that it is, okay, raw and motion is low. It means it doesn't move super fast. And now we want to animate this. Woman looks at coffee mug and camera zooms towards the coffee mug into the picture with the woman and the parrot. Let's see. And there's the parrot. This is okay, so this isn't really working because you see Morgan, my parrot, is coming out of the mug. Cute, but I don't want this. So let's try again. The parrot stays in the picture on the coffee mug. Let's see if this works. Okay. Oh no, here it starts moving. What I realized after trying a few things, you have to prompt Midjourney like a filmmaker. So you need the subject, you need the emotion and the action, you need the time of day and lighting, you need the camera angle, and you need to put the mood. So these things, this is a formula, and use this blueprint. So these are very cinematic prompts, okay? And I think this is what it takes to do this with Midjourney. So let's run this again. Click. Here I'm submitting this image again. I don't know if it's gonna make it into 16:9. So far it hasn't done that. That would be amazing if it would do that, but it's probably not going to do that. I will research how to do this. So far, I haven't been able to do that. But what has been phenomenal is that you can animate me and the parrot, that the parrot starts flying away. It has had problems with the flight. So these are images that we did before. And for example, this is great. But then it loses, the parrot flies somehow. It should fly out of the frame. For some reason it doesn't do that. I think here it became pretty close. Here it flies. Oh yeah, that's better. That's quite good. It flies towards the ocean because sometimes it just flew in the sand, and which is weird. And here again, okay, so here see, and it kind of like seems like it's kind of like going backwards and crashing. So that is not what we want, okay? So let's see what I created now with the new prompt. Okay, here we go. Parrot. Yes. Yes, not so bad. If I mean, I would like to pair maybe I need to prompt it that flies up. Some reason it always looks like it's gonna crash the parrot. There you go. Okay, here. That's a good one. So see, this is maybe this one's better. So you can see it always creates these. Okay. Oops. That looks more like an accident. That doesn't work at all. And here comes. Oh, hovers. Okay, because of the hovering. Okay. So you see it's something that you need to be, but it's amazing because it really gets this is the look of Miami Beach, and it's pretty amazing what it does. It's not leaving the frame yet. It doesn't do that. But so far, this is something that's very usable. You record an interview and then you just have these snippets of animations, of these photographic animations, then you can totally start telling a story. And I'm going to show you how you put this all together now. Here's a quick bonus tip. We are in this amazing age of AI. So if you don't know how to write this prompt, ask ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT what you want to do and how to create the best Midjourney prompt for a video. And so why this works, right? A picture turns into a scene. That scene brings the memory back to life. And the memory deepens the story that you are discovering behind that photo. So we're shaping meaning from both sides, text level, visual level. So now we want to put your text in a voiceover. And this brings us to tool number 4. And tool number 4 is 11 Labs. And here's what it can do.
Live big, love deeply, let go gracefully. Lebe intensiv, liebe ehrlich, ama profundamente, suelta con gracia.
Same voice, but in German, Spanish, and English. This tool, 11 Labs, really changes everything because you can clone your voice. Now, this voice of mine was not there yet because I only did the starter pack, but you can get there that it will sound like you. Let's dive into this tool quickly. So everyone needs to have good sounding voiceover. And within 11 Labs, there are 2 ways to do this. The first way is using the instant voice clone, which is the easiest method. And the second method is using the professional voice clone. And with the instant voice clone, you just need to hit record audio right here, or you can upload a file of your voice. I've already done this. And so you can just upload 30 seconds of your voice, and then you give it a name, and then you go back to text or you go back to speech, and you can put in the text, which I just did, and I gave it 3 different languages, and it generated the voice. Okay. And you can also, I think you can then regenerate speech and do this again, and it will come up with a slightly different version of it. So this is what's great. You just have consistency, especially when you are creating a film and you're changing the voiceover. What you had to do, you had to re-record the voiceover. You don't have to do this anymore, which is amazing. You can just be like rewriting it, and it just like boom, puts it in, and it puts it straight also into the editing tools. So it's so easy now. It saves a ton of time, and it's multilingual. It has a multilingual delivery. Think about, you can even recreate a voice of a loved one that's no longer with us, which is breaching a little bit into something where I don't know yet either if that is something that we want to do, but I'm just saying you actually can do now. So there's a lot of things that this is opening up, especially when we speak about legacy. We've written a story, we've visualized the memory, and we've voiced it in 3 languages. Now let's edit the film. Okay, so tool number 5 that is easy to use for anyone is CapCut. That's an editing software that is super simple. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to use this. We are importing the clips that we generated in Midjourney, and that is super easy because you can just like drag and drop them into the media folder here. And you're just taking a clip and you just drag and dropping it in here. I already did this, so they're already added. And when you click on them, then you can see the clip here and you can just play this and you can see how it looks. Okay, so I already got all the clips that I like. And so now how do you start putting this together? What I like to start with is always the moment that matters. And for me, the moment that matters is like we're zooming towards the cup and then I want to go into the picture, right? Okay. So just to show you what I mean by that, this is the moment where Morgan moves in the cup, the parrot moves. Okay. So that's the moment that I want. Tuck. All right, great. It's the same image that I have. I had the photo, and so that was really good because I could then animate this one, right? And what you see here, okay, so here Morgan moves, he blinks, and you always want to edit into movement. So this picture is static in the beginning, and so you want to cut away the static. So you want to also cut into this movement here. Yeah. So you cut this away. This is like split here. Super simple. Here, click that, erase that. You can also and close that gap. So this should be now so this is she blinks. Yeah, see, this is even like I would even cut this shorter because it would be great if she would blink there. There was like one, I think, where she was sitting there and she was blinking. Let's see if there's another one. No, that's not it. But I think there was one. So see, that's good. So this one's good. This one, so instead of this one, so we're going to take this away. I'm going to take this and put this there. And so now, because here she blinks and here she blinks too. This is also way too big, and that's super easy in CapCut. You can just enlarge this. This is not how I would do this for higher end movies. We would do it differently. But for right now, to just see and play around with what is actually possible, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty astounding how good that is. Okay, so now here the positioning, this would be better if the image would be a little down. So we have that here she is there. That's kind of good, right? And this is the transition where we jump into the real scene. Okay, so we want to do something that this moment becomes enhanced, so music helps, but also what's really great, and they have this here, is like effects, then audio effects. So how do you make this? Because it's already very animated and it's already very, let's say, fake. Okay, let's call it what it is. It's fake. So if I now put on top of the fakeness another like transition, that the CapCut has a lot of them, yeah, or another filter, it just makes it more, it destroys the magic. So what we want to keep the magic. We want to be like, oh, so in this cup, okay, so so Morgan is moving and we're going to zoom into this, okay? So we want to actually not use a lot of tricks and a lot of transitions, like stars and all that stuff. We actually want to keep that so we see what's happening, because you're like, wow, because then it becomes the wow, okay? So audio effects are a great way to actually enhance something that's already visually happening. So we add a soft whoosh here, or any ambient sound. You can try it out, and here's like a whole library of different sounds. So here, maybe, okay, let's put in here delightful whoosh. I always go with my feeling and my intuition. That's really important when you are working and editing and you're working with AI and you have animations, that you really listen while you're doing this actually to something that you feel like what that should be. It's like bringing out the inner child, right? What is it that like, how should that sound now? And there's nothing that's too banal or simple. The more simple, the better. Because in the end, we all are kind of little children inside sometimes. And it's good to have that in films like this. Okay. So, whoosh with echo, remembering a remembering whoosh. Sounds a little eerie, but let's put it here. Let's put it there. Let's see. And it should be right when we are making this transition, which you can see. You can see here where the whoosh is. Okay, so. Okay, now the music is very loud, so we're going to put the music down. And I think it's too eerie. It's okay. It's kind of cool. But see how this already helps. What I would do, but that would take a little bit more time because this is a different color. And I would try to have that first image be that color. And then once we're in this image, gradually get into the more like bright colors. So because that would what I would try to do, but that takes a little bit more time. So for right now, this is pretty good. So this is how you build a transition and support it with a little bit of a sound. And you can put any kind of different sound, whatever you want. It should just carry it over. It should just carry that image over, and that can be done by sound. So in under 20 minutes, we turned a single mug into a tiny legacy movie.
This isn't just ceramic. It's a freeze frame of a bold era, when freedom had feathers and dreams had wings. It was about loving so deeply that you can release what you cherish most. That mug reminds me. Live big, love deeply, let go gracefully.
So now it's your turn. What is your object? And what's the story you would love to tell? Drop it in the comments below. Let's co-create your legacy. And if this helped you, like, subscribe, and also get the free prompt pack in the comments below. See you in the next movie.